Okay, hi. Today I would just like quickly to mention something that is really puzzling for me and also something that all dissertation students should look for when they're trying to find their reliable sources. As you know, you should always make sure that your reliable sources are published and in reliable journals, etc. However, we have a lot of journals that publish work that is sponsored. We have a lot of journals, well, most of the research today is sponsored. And in any case, the reason for this is not today to give a lecture about published sources, but really to tell you about something that I was listening to yesterday. I was listening to something about arteries and, vegan diet. And I was thinking, my goodness, in my time, I went through some kind of proofs of protein diet and of carbohydrate diet and all these diets that are sort of good for your health and for your arteries, etc. And I'm just wondering, like 30 years, 40 years, of me following these diets or, reading about them, why don't we just easily, just conduct a study, clinical study with a lot of people, put them in confined environment, healthy people of certain age range. So and just feed them meat diet for a week, carbohydrate diet for a week, vegan diet for a week, a combined diet for a week, some with, some without vitamins, etc. Then we can have people who exercise, etc. We can just basically do this, and I don't understand why this hasn't been done. We have so many speculations now, and every single proponent of every single diet has proof that their diet is the best and it works. Now, the vegans have long been they've been claiming that their diet is the best. No question about it. That vegetables are good for you, but just eating vegan diet, you have to supplement and okay, maybe some people say you don't need to supplement, but whatever the case, there is no proof that vegans live longer than non-vegans. So there is also no proof that majority meat eaters that eat majority meat live less than the others. And so all this kind of research has been done somehow with something being tweaked in. Because we all know people who eat sweets every day. Well, for a start, I know my ex-husband eats sweets every single day. His cholesterol is so low, it's 98 or something. He has no problems and he's 74. So, I am not quite sure where people find and publish this and why are people talking about something as if it's really sort of proof for long life. So of course, if you have some problem, you need to adjust your diet not to accommodate whatever illness or issue you have. But to claim that some diets will make you live longer than the others, in fact, to claim that skinny people or deprivation diet will make you live longer, I have yet to find conclusive proof about this, because around me, everyone that I know, but I really mean everyone that I know, is slightly overweight. That includes my grandmother, my mother, who is 88 years old, my ex-mother-in-law, who died at 92, and she was German, definitely overweight, slightly, because she likes her cakes and her potatoes, or liked. So she died really from Alzheimer's. She had nothing wrong with her whatsoever. Well, she didn't die from Alzheimer's, she died from complications, so let's put it that way. So, but, to say that people around Churchill, what about Churchill, So, to say that you have to deprive yourself from food to eat to live longer, I'm not quite sure how can that claim be made. We have enough studies to look into it and to make some kind of conclusion. But if you're not sure, why not make studies on diets? That's not a problem. Of course it's a problem because the industries, they're all pulling their own weight. But for us consumers, it's a problem because every time we go through different diets and our body, has protein diet for a couple of months, 1 week, 1 year, then we go to carbohydrates, then something else is, good for you, etc. I mean, fruits, people are saying are good for you. Many people have intolerance to fruits and indigestion, or even if you want to go as far as saying fruits have a lot of sugar. So, we can argue about anything all we want. What we are forgetting is that with all this bombarding our bodies with different diets all the time, I can't see, as a hopefully an intelligent person, how can this be good for us? Of course, if you have high sugar, if you have diabetes, of course, if you have high triglycerides, of course, if you have certain issues like that, you need to watch what you're eating and not stuff yourself with things that will make it even worse. But I mean, it's quite annoying for people to advocate for their diet, just for the reason, but saying, for example, meat eaters will say our ancestors ate only meat. Yeah, and we are not our ancestors, we live today. Our environment is different. Or saying our ancestors ate vegan diet in those parts of the world. And again, so what? We do not live in those times. So the same goes for other things. Just the claim that our ancestors did something for a long time without clinical proof that something is conclusively good for us. I think you need to look at various, published material from published research. So this is particularly important, not just for us as human beings, and to lessen stress about and guilt, what we're eating, what we're not eating, etc. But it's also from research point of view for my students who, of course, sometimes come with some kind of knowledge because they read something somewhere without reading that something has been sponsored by certain industries. So I would say, people need to, for dissertation, you must use published sources, from reliable published sources. For us, normal human beings who are just looking to improve our lives, we really need to listen to our bodies, check yourself regularly. If there is something that, is not good for us, if we have high cholesterol, high triglycerides, etc., we need to watch what we are eating. But again, just going vegan or going vegetarian may not help. On the other hand, just eating high-fat foods, again, may not help. So I really caution everyone because I was, quite, it was exciting to hear something new, and I'm very much into longevity, but to actually hear people saying because we can measure something before and after we eat something, it doesn't prove anything because, it's the same like saying let's measure blood pressure before and after and during our exercises. There will be fluctuations. So there's a lot of things in research, and for us to live longer, first of all, let's be happy. Being happy, people are not neglecting that aspect of it. If you're always stressed and thinking, oh my goodness, what I'm going to eat, how much stress is that? If you like to eat just vegetables and you're vegan for whatever other reasons, fine. If you like to eat your meat, again, fine. Why not? Eat meat. But, everything in moderation, absolutely everything in moderation. That's what I have to say. And I have to leave you with this. Everything in moderation. And I say this because I tell you, in my family, none of my old and long-lived family members watched what they're eating. They just watched their bodies. And that's it. So live long and healthy. Be happy. And stop reading nonsense. And if you are reading, then check with reliable published sources, and check who funded the research. And even if they say university funded the research, check who gave the money to the university. That's a clue. All right, have a great day, and healthy and happy. I'm going to eat some cake.